gonna start with the cherries, frozen cherries. So, this is what we are going to use for the frozen cherries. We are going to use maple syrup instead of, we are going to use maple syrup instead of sugar. I forgot to get the lemon juice. Let's see, where's the lemon juice? Right here, lemon juice. Okay. And then we've got our frozen cherries that are good to go. Okay. We're going to dump them in the saucepan. Okay. Then we're gonna put the cherries on medium heat. Medium high heat. Okay. Cook for about 10 minutes stirring. Let's see, where's a good, here, I'm gonna use a good spoon to stir that up while it's heating. Okay. These are the ingredients. Gonna wait for 10 minutes to stir this up. Okay, so while we are waiting for the cherries to be cooking in the saucepan, we are going to mix flour, maple syrup, vanilla, secret spices, and then a little bit of lemon juice into the bowl and mix it so that we can put it in with the cherries later. Okay? Okay, so the cherries are being stirred. They said 10 minutes, but actually it would be until cherries are softened. Then we mixed in this maple syrup, flour, secret spices, and a little bit of lemon juice. We'll put that in here and whisk it until, and then it says simmer over low heat until reduced and thicken into a jam-like consistency. Remove from heat and allow about an hour to cool completely. Okay? So we are simmering the cherries, waiting until it's a jam-like consistency, so that way we can cool it, let it sit and cool. Okay? Okay. Hi, so we are putting the cherry jam-like mixture on cooling down. So now we're going to start with the pie crust into this. So remember the other day I did the pie crust pie dough? Give me a second. I grabbed this out of the fridge, the pie dough pie crust that I made the other day. Okay? Yeah, dough. So we are gonna roll this into the bottom part of the pie. Okay? So let me get back to you. So I gotta oil, I don't have butter, so I gotta oil this around so it won't be burnt and easy to get out, to cut the pie out. Okay? So I rolled my dough and tried to fit it into this pie pan or pie dish. Read it. So I rolled the dough and flattened it, and I'm fitting it into the pie dish that I have. Okay? And so next step is getting a sharp knife and cut off all the excess pie dough. Okay? So making sure I don't have any holes or anything. So the next step is cutting the extra pie dough off. Okay? So here we are. We waited for the cherry jam to cool. And then the pie crust rolled out and fits on here. So I'm going to pour all this in here. But before I do that, I'm going to set the oven onto 375. Okay? I'm going to pour all this in there. And then I'm going to roll out the second dough. Let's go grab the second dough. Let's go roll this out, and I'm gonna do a fancy weaving pattern, maybe, depending on if it goes well, okay? So here I flattened the dough, and then the pie is right here, so I'm going to try to do the basket weaving on the top, okay? So I finished doing the basket weave crust and assembling the pie. I know it's looks like a little messy, but this is the first time I made homemade pie with homemade pie crust or dough. I wish I had enough cherry filling. I used all the cherries that I had, frozen cherries. So this next step is, once I finished assembling it, let me fix these holes. Make sure I don't have holes in the can. I'm gonna put the pie in the oven. Okay, and then I'm gonna set it for 53 minutes. It says timer 53. So the recipe says set it to 50 to 55 minutes. While that is being cooking, I am going to clean up the kitchen and vacuum the kitchen. Still waiting on Studson's medical supplies. I don't know what's going on. So I can't really vacuum Studson's room. But I can clean up the kitchen, vacuum the kitchen, and possibly the living room. Okay? Well, I hope you enjoy. See you next time. Bye. Okay, hi again. Hey, now the pie is done. But I'm kind of disappointed, but it's a learning curve, and this is the first time I made homemade pie and pie dough, so the crust is all burnt. Maybe it's not that long in the oven. See how the crust is all burnt on the edges, and it's all like, the filling looks all, yeah, I don't know. Well, that's it for the pie. Cherry baking homemade in my world. Okay, enjoy.